The Rams, Super Bowl champs, led by Matt Stafford.
Yeah, Stafford took about 20 seconds to get the fuck out of Detroit and just immediately wins the Super Bowl. So,
yeah,
congratulations to Matt Stafford. I sent you my prediction before the game, just to get it on record, as we, in typical LDP fashion, failed to do our Super Bowl predictions on the previous show. At least I don't remember doing it, but I sent you my prediction of the Bengals winning 27-21.
Yep.
I got way more specific than that. I said Matt Stafford would have 3 touchdown passes. 1, 2, 3. He did. I said he would have over 300 yards passing. He had 283, so I was close on that one.
Wow.
I said he would have 3 interceptions to go along with those 3 touchdown passes, and he almost got there. He got 2 interceptions.
Yeah.
That third one I predicted would be a pick 6 in the fourth quarter. That would have essentially cost them the game. And that was the only thing I was wrong about. He didn't throw that pick 6 in the fourth quarter. He instead led his team on the final touchdown drive to take the game 23-20. So I was just a little bit off on the scoring prediction. But I feel like I was rather accurate. You were telling me I should have done a parlay.
Well, if you could find someone to take it, that's the thing. They wouldn't
complex parlay.
Yeah, they wouldn't let you on FanDuel mix some of those, like parlay some of those things together. So I had to use a parlay calculator for you, as I told you. And Smitty's prediction, I'm sure he could have gotten it done in Vegas. That's what makes Vegas great. Or by someone named Tony. But
you got a guy, don't you?
You got a guy, don't you? Anyway, a $5 bet on those 5 things coming true would pay out over $73,000. I mean, he was close. I mean, he wouldn't have won anything, but
I was close because I've seen Matt Stafford play that game for 13 fucking years now, 12 years with the Lions and 1 year with the Rams. And he's the same. That's who he is. He throws touchdowns, puts up yards, and he throws interceptions. And
he threw a gem of a one on the one play where he was directing traffic. I said right away, I'm like, this is an interception.
Yeah. I kept saying that on that final touchdown drive. Like, oh, here comes the interception. And it never came. So it took them about 7 tries at the end zone when they had first and goal to actually get that final game-winning touchdown.
Well, you get enough penalties called. It's kind of like what happened at the end of the Cincinnati-Kansas City game. You get enough penalties called against you, you're bound to score.
It was strange in that there just weren't many penalties called in the entire game, and then all of a sudden they were calling everything.
It's a little. There's some there's some missed calls. There's the Jalen Ramsey getting pulled down by his face mask on the T. Higgins ridiculous touchdown.
How do they miss that? The only thing I could think of is like the back judge was just at the perfect angle not to see that, or how does no one see that? That's that obvious.
It was unbelievable. And then, questionable pass interference with linebacker coverage, but like everyone said, like the minute a linebacker's on a wide receiver and he makes a play, he gets flagged. He almost gets flagged all the time because they assume there's no way a linebacker could make that play, and he had to have been doing something illegal. But in replay, it looked like nothing.
Yeah, I feel like probably one of those penalties was legit. I think the rest of them are very questionable, but that's all it took is to give him another set of downs.
Yeah.
I saw someone bring up, and this gets kind of to our aesthetics segment that we do in the baseball podcast, but somebody blamed the Cincinnati's orange gloves. Made it way too obvious what they were doing with their hands when you put those contrasting with the white Rams jerseys. So it's very clear when they put their hands on the
interest that there's probably some credence to that.
Well, I mean, that's if fashion is going to cost you a Super Bowl, I think you need to reevaluate your priorities. Like, just put on some white gloves, I guess, and they would have had a chance to win a fucking Super Bowl. But
I hate those yellow Rams gloves because sometimes when they put their hand on the turf, I think a flag's been thrown. But there's no flag. It's just a yellow glove.
It's tough.
I know.
Well, I think you've got to congratulate Matt Stafford. I don't hate the guy, never hated the guy, just never thought he could get it done. He did get it done, proving me wrong. He got it done because every single little thing had to work out perfectly. And you could see that throughout his career. The Lions never even came close to putting anything perfectly together the way the Rams did for him. So that leads me to the realization that we've pretty much reached peak SOL, maximum same old Lions. If you think about it, I mean, Matt Stafford leaves the franchise after 12 years and immediately wins a Super Bowl.
I mean, it doesn't get any worse than that. That's your lowest low or your highest high with SOL.
Yeah, well, don't let me continue though.
Okay.
I've only just begun. Not only that, simultaneously, when he wins that Super Bowl, it makes the return for his trade the worst possible return we could have had in that trade, getting a number 32 first round draft pick instead of maybe as high as number 23 as the playoffs started. And they had missed the playoffs somehow, it would have been much higher than that. Fortunately, we still do have their number one pick next year, but I mean, they've got to be the prohibitive favorites to go back to the Super Bowl this year in 2023.
But you got a couple things you can hope for. Von Miller and Aaron Donald might not be there next year, so their defense will take a mighty big hit without those two. So it could be look a little more optimistic for yourself.
Speaking of Aaron Donald, I thought he should have won the MVP. He basically the whole second half they held Cincinnati down. That's why the Rams had a chance to come back. Aaron Donald, mind you, could have been drafted by the Lions in 2014, as the Lions had the number 1 pick or the number 10 pick in the first round, and chose to draft a tight end named Eric Ebron. You may remember.
That's a good one. Yeah.
They passed on Aaron Donald, leading to their demise and leading to a Super Bowl championship for the Rams eventually. They also passed on Odell Beckham Jr., who went right before Aaron Donald in that draft. So there's levels of irony there. The other things that came out this week that week in Michigan, at least, is there's a movement almost of Stafford slappies who are now buying T-shirts and all sorts of things that refer to a team called the Detroit Rams.
Oh God!
As if somehow Detroit or Stafford fans could claim some kind of victory, kind of eschewing their shameful Lions history and just. I'm
gonna throw up, dude. That's terrible.
That's what I've been dealing with for 2 weeks. That's what I was frustrated with. That's why I could see coming with all the Stafford love throughout these playoffs. It eventually landed into Detroit Rams T-shirts, which then, of course, morphed into world champion Detroit Rams T-shirts.
No, it didn't.
They are world championship Detroit Rams T-shirts and hoodies available. I won't even tell you where. I know the website.
Please don't. We don't want to promote that.
Yeah, it's been a large topic. People are wearing those as a source of pride, and it should be the biggest embarrassment.
I mean, that's essentially me calling the Arizona Cardinals when Emmitt Smith went there the Dallas Cardinals.
Well,
because Emmitt Smith is there now, and I mean, I guess it's different. I guess it's different okay, it's a little bit. It's a lot different. Smith won 3 Super Bowls with the Cowboys. You thought Matt Stafford was going to win a Super Bowl. Those fans probably realized he never had enough quality around him to push it over the edge. So now they feel they've earned the right to do that. I don't like it, but I kind of get it. But it's a stretch, man.
Yeah, it's mainly an indictment. It's embarrassing. I mean, if I see someone wearing that shirt, I will definitely say something. I haven't seen them. I am in Lansing, Michigan, which is quite far away from the epicenter of Detroit Rams. I haven't heard a whole lot of it's been a topic on Detroit Sports Talk Radio. I haven't heard anyone say they've seen someone who wear one. I just know they're for sale. So I guess we'll see how that turns out. But it's an indictment of the sadness of the franchise. I don't know why anyone would if you want to wear a Stafford jersey, whether it's a Rams jersey or a Lions jersey, I understand that if he's your favorite player, but the Detroit Rams shit's it's too much. So I think we can safely say that Detroit has lost the Matt Stafford trade, no matter any way.
Yeah,
I guess if the Lions,
anyway you slice that up, it's
if
not good.
If the Lions somehow get a franchise quarterback out of this coming draft or the next one, maybe, and then they win 2 Super Bowls, it'd be the only way they could outdo Stafford and the Rams already winning 1 Super Bowl. So the other sad part, or I don't know if it's sad, I don't know what it is, but it was revealed that the second largest market watching the Super Bowl was Detroit, right behind Cincinnati. So
wow.
we were more tuned into that game than anyone
than LA,
Cincinnati. Huh? Well, far more than LA. There was that shouldn't be too surprising, especially when you see footage of their victory parade today. Did you see that?
No, I didn't see that.
There's about 10 people. Not many people saw the parade either.
Wow.
They had barricades set up, and there's about 10 people on their scooters and a couple people wearing jerseys.
They needed to bring Dre and the crew back to join the parade to get a crowd out there.
Yeah, it was unreal. This parade's going to get tens and tens of views. So yeah, that was my. That is maximum SOL. I don't know how it can get any worse for the Lions. Other than, you think about the Super Bowl MVP was indeed Cooper Kupp, who had the greatest. He's got to have the greatest wide receiver season in history. He led the league in receptions, touchdowns, yardage.
He's the only person to ever do that or something in the same season. Yeah.
In the same season. It's been done, but it's been over. I think Jerry Rice did it over multiple seasons. Right. He also won the Super Bowl and won the Super Bowl MVP. So
that's a sweep.
The only solace you could get from that as a Lions fan is that our current GM was integral in drafting him. I forget what year it was, but so Brad Holmes has his fingers all over that Super Bowl championship team, and hopefully he can convert those talents into doing the same in Detroit. That is the one bit of optimism I'm going to take out of all this. So
yeah, well, there you go. You gotta find something there, buddy.
Beyond what we didn't really talk about the game other than me ranting about Stafford. Did you enjoy the game? Was it?
Yeah, it was a fun little game.
The playoffs were fantastic. This pretty much lived up to it. The Cincinnati had a chance to come back and just came up short.
Yeah,
in the last 2 minutes. Couple weird non-injuries with Stafford, like tweaking his foot. It looked like his foot was gonna be dislocated. And he came limping off the field, and then he was just fine. It looked like Joe Burrow snapped his other knee.
Yeah, it sure did.
And he was okay. He could not get out of the pocket after that play. It looked like I think they kind of adjusted their play calling a bit where he wasn't rolling out anymore. But he wasn't quite as effective. But
yeah, I wonder how that that very last play goes down if he could actually if he could have actually run.
Yeah.
I think that was their ultimate demise, him losing his mobility. Because when you're under pressure you got Von Miller, you've got Aaron Donald, you've got I can't think of his name, the ex-Bear, Lance Briggs. You got they have a lot of beasts on that defense. It's
serious.
Yeah, so. They got guys who can get there on their own without any extra help. So, but as Super Bowls have gone, having 2 new teams in there, and as just reiterating what you said, I don't think as being on the sidelines for me after the first round of the NFL playoffs, every round was great.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I was just hoping I was really hoping for a Cincinnati victory, but at least it was an entertaining game. I was also hoping for some entertaining Super Bowl commercials, as you and I have our backgrounds in advertising, so the commercials are always an interesting thing. Although I don't think they were all that interesting this year. I don't know what did you have any favorites or least favorites?
I think my least favorite, even though it's probably the most effective one, was the QR code.
Okay.
For Bitcoin, I did it.
Okay. This is the difference between you and I.
And Charlie did it. And then I was like, wait, Charlie, Oh, okay, it's Bitcoin. I'm like, I don't know where the fuck this is going.
Well, yeah,
Oh,
that's
look, there's tits all over his phone.
well, that's the thing. I don't fully understand the psychology. Like, I understand the intrigue, but I'm just as a skeptical Gen Xer, I guess, I just saw a QR code and say, "Fuck you! I know what you're trying to do, but I'm not going to do it."
I
Especially with no tease, no enticement. It's just
yeah,
literally a QR code bouncing around
I
the
just
screen,
assumed it
changing
was
colors.
GoDaddy. I really did. I
Could have
assumed it
been,
was
could
like
have
a
been.
GoDaddy but it was a Bitcoin. It was Bitcoin. So
So Charlie's into cryptocurrency now.
no,
Download
he's
did it
like
automatically download, like give you a wallet and everything?
no, he just was like, this is stupid. I'm like, yeah, I knew it was going to be stupid, but
Now
we
he's a
got there.
billionaire
After
accidentally.
after being on the screen for like 60 freaking seconds, it's probably only 30, but it felt like 60. Just having that square bounce around, I'm like, I gotta see what it is.
You can do that, but at least I thought there should have been a voiceover. I mean, they just played some music. Just do something. I thought it was lazy, is what it was. They were trying to be revolutionary, but I think it was really just
Yeah,
lazy.
the thing I found interesting about most of the commercials is like all they did was like go back and redo old movie and TV show bits. That
Yeah,
was like the creative idea for like almost every commercial.
and having talking animals essentially. I mean,
Yeah,
that's a staple of Super Bowl commercials.
yeah,
I like the Larry David Curb Your Enthusiasm one, but that's just because I like Larry David. You know, it's not that it was a great commercial. I don't even know what it was for now. I forget, but how he was going through history and saying, I don't think it's a great idea.
yeah. The fact that you don't remember what the commercial was for means it was not
It's a
that
problem.
great. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the problem. That's the anti-$1 million they spent.
I think it was $4 million
Or four
for 30.
million dollars. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the Super Bowl being completed, we do now have our final draft picks. The selection order is set in stone now, and the Lions have officially the number 2 pick, the number 32 pick, the number 34 pick, the number 66 pick, and the 97 pick, plus 5 more picks after that. So they do have
Oh,
5 picks in the first 3 rounds, and then a total of 10 in a 7-round draft. So that is encouraging. How they have, attack the problem with volume. If you can't guarantee that a draft pick's gonna pan out, you might as well just get a lot more draft picks and increase your odds that it's gonna work out. So I like that. You've seen that done by the Patriots for one, amassing as many draft picks as possible and hitting on as many as possible. So I
Herschel
appreciate
Walker
that.
trade too.
Yeah, exactly. I'll get deeper into my analysis of what I think the Lions should do. I mean, I think it's obvious with the number 2 pick, they got to go defensive end. They need a game wrecker. Aiden Hutchinson's probably going to be the pick there, as it looks like Jacksonville's going to go with an offensive lineman to protect uh, Trevor Lawrence. At number 32, it becomes very interesting, and I've heard lots of theories already coming out about this. And some people, Lions need help everywhere. They need linebackers, they need safeties, they need corners, they need wide receivers. I'm starting to hear rumblings that they might even go after a quarterback with the number 32 pick as opposed to the number 34 pick. And there's some logic behind that. Is in the first round, you have a 5th-year option. If you are drafted in the first round, the team has a 5th-year option to continue their relationship with you, and that's been used successfully on young quarterbacks. That would make some sense, as we've got Jared Goff next year at least, and then we could have a quarterback under his tutelage for that year, and then 4 years after that potentially. So that might be a direction I'm not really in favor of. I'd like to see him get a wide receiver or a linebacker with the 32 and 34 picks. But a quarterback might make sense if somebody falls to them, and it might make sense with that number 32 pick. But I just like the idea they've got 5 picks in the first 3 rounds. I think they should be able to hopefully use that to their advantage, as Brad Holmes has shown a proclivity of drafting well for the Rams, as they are now the Super Bowl champions. One other piece of Lions news is they promoted tight ends coach Ben Johnson to become their offensive coordinator. That's interesting in a few ways. Is that Dan Campbell, of course, was a former tight ends coach. He's actually a former tight end for both the Lions and
Yes.
your Cowboys.
Yes.
So there's kind of a tight ends thing going on there. We have a decent tight end, TJ Hawkinson, on the team. I'm not sure. The jury's out on him. I think we were hoping he would be more than he is, as he was a top 10, another top 10 pick, tight end picked in the top 10. He hasn't quite lived up to, I wouldn't say he's a bust by any means, but he kind of has not lived up to the hype quite yet. He's kind of had, you've seen moments of brilliance, and then he kind of fades into the background a lot of times. So we'll see there, but there's definitely some kind of tight end connection going on with the Lions coaching staff and how they're building their teams. But there's the jury's still out. There's been no announcement on who will be calling plays, as Dan Campbell famously took away play calling halfway through the season from his offensive coordinator. And now we'll see how Ben Johnson fits into that plan.
Word Hole Media.